past few seasons, SHAI GILGEOUS-ALEXANDER is named up there with some of the best. As an SGA, he's one of those type of guards sitting at 6'6" that can break defenders down with ease. And with this young guard taking over the league, a walking bucket, averaging 30 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and shooting 50% from the field goal, his shiftiness and craftiness to be able to create space and be able to get to his spots is amazing. When it comes to the mid-range and him also getting to the paint when it comes to finishing, and with his elusive dribbling, he's also going to break down defenders with his signature step back or with a combination of tween hezzy moves. But with this type of skill set to be able to get to his spots, especially when it comes to the mid-range, but also taking defenders off the dribble to get to the paint with a lot of different type of layups of his finesse scoring. And since 2K did a new update when it comes to the dunk meter and also when it comes to the layup meter, and since this is a build that's going to have a high driving layup, a lot of guys use real player percentage for their layups. Now when it's built like this, I definitely would recommend you to end up trying low risk or normal risk. If you're someone that's decent at timing your layups, go low risk. But if you're actually somewhat good at timing your layups, let's go normal. But as we're going to end up hopping into myplayer builder, we got SGA sitting at 6'6". Now with the weight, you can go between 190 pounds to 195 pounds. In the wingspan, we're going to keep the wingspan at 6'10". But as I end up showing you two different SGA builds, one's going to have a little bit more defense than the other, and one is going to have a higher layup than the other. Now as you see these attributes on this first build, we're going to be 6'6", 190, 6'10" wingspan. And when it comes to the finishing, we're going to end up upping his layup. Now 88 unlocks every layup package in the game, from the Kobe's to LeBron James to Jalen Browns, all those different type of layup packages. Now if you have a 93 layup, you get layup mixer on go. But for this build, we're going to end up going with a 88 layup. Since I won't be able to get physical finisher on goal since I'm not at a 90 layup, I'm going to end up just doing it like that. Some of the best layup packages you can use: Austin Reeves layup package, you can use Zach LaVine layup package. It got a few nice little Euro steps and nice little actual up and unders. Then you got LeBron James. Now LeBron James is one up there as one of the best layups, especially if you got at least an 87 layup or 88. But for the actual driving dunk, he's not maybe one of the craziest dunkers, but hey, he can still get on that rim. And y'all know all you need is really like a 55 driving dunk. You can go between a 55 driving dunk to a 60 or even 65 at max. Now with having a 65 driving dunk, you can get a nice decent amount of dunk packages on this game if you don't know that. Y'all know 70 get y'all park dunks and things like that, but you can get a decent amount of dunk packages with a 65 driving dunk on NBA 2K25. You get athletic hangs off one, maybe one of the best dunk packages in the game. You get hangs off one, which is some of the select fewer dunks that doesn't get blocked on NBA 2K25. Then you got Klay Thompson for the 55 driving dunk, one of the best dunk packages you can use in the game, especially for low driving dunk. And then you got Kevin Huerter. If you got a 65 driving dunk, he got a lot of good two hands and one hands off one. Then when it comes to this, we're gonna end up going with 55. Then you know for the standing dunk, you gotta end up putting your standing dunk to 45. You can do 40 as long as you got a standing dunk. That's all that matters. So put your standing dunk to 45. In SGA, he does work in the paint, so we're gonna make sure we get him post fade phenom at least on silver. If you want to get post fade phenom on silver, you go 70, but if you want to get it on gold, you have to go 79. And if you want post up poet, you got to go 77. So we're going to just stop at 70 so we can get that post fade phenom on silver, especially with having a high mid range on this build. And we know SGA is good in the mid range. He can get to his spots, maybe one of the best mid range scorers in the league right now, especially for the next generation. And I definitely recommend you to go from an 89 mid range or a 90 mid range. I would prefer you go 90, because if you use one cap breaker, you will end up getting shifty shooter on go. But if you got multiple cap breakers, you can get at least to a 93 mid range. You will be able to get shifty shooter on go. You'll be able to get Deadeye on go, but also you will get set shot specialist on Hall of Fame, having a 93 mid range on this build. Now we know SGA is maybe not the best 3-point shooter, but he can end up knocking down some shots here and there. So I'm gonna end up putting up my 3-pointer to a 77 3-pointer, between 77 or 79. That's up to you. But for our mid range, we're gonna go to a 90 mid range. And with our mid range being this high, we unlock every jump shot base when it comes from 6'5" all the way to 6'9". So any jump shot base that you can think of is going to be available for this build. And we all know SGA is a free throw merchant, so we got to put his free throw up. He need at least anything over 85 free throw. We say that anything around 85 free throw and up, hey, that's perfect for SGA. But when it comes to the pass accuracy, 2K gave SGA a 90+ pass accuracy. Now I'm not doing a 90+ pass accuracy. It's between I go 82 pass accuracy, 85 pass accuracy, or I'm going 78. Now I think 82 is the sweet spot, but if you really care about having certain pass styles, you can go 85, but I'm not doing that. By dribbling, I'm going to have a 90 ball handle. 90 ball handle is cool. You can go 86 if you want to, but I prefer 90 so you get handles a days on go. That's literally the sweet spot when it comes to handles a days if you want a bigger build like this. Then with the speed with ball, 75, it's not gonna be fast enough, but you do get decent takeovers with 75. But I'm gonna go with an 80 speed with ball. Now, if you wanna go 85, this is gonna be the only thing that's gonna be different. 85 is gonna get you a certain takeover. As I have 80, I get Dribble Wizard, and that ends up giving me the blur takeover. Now, if I want 85, I'm gonna be able to get the ankle taker takeover that end up getting me ball handle, speed with ball, and layup boost. Now, if you think that's a takeover that you would like, definitely go 85, but just know you're gonna have to sacrifice something on defense, especially for this build, to get that actually on an 85 or even 86 to get lightning launches on goal. Now, since we're on a build with a 90 ball control and a decent speed with ball, you're gonna end up needing some dribble moves. So these are the dribble moves that I end up cooking up so far, especially with this build. Now, I know SHA in the future will possibly end up being a seasoned player, so we can be able to get some of his animations, like his behind the back, his jump shot, even his hop jumper. All those are gonna end up getting put in the game, even his dribble pull up. When it comes to the defense aspect of this build, we're gonna give him a 60 interior, nothing too crazy, it's just borderline what you need. Then with the perimeter, we're going 85 perimeter, so we can be able to get that on ball menace, challenger on silver, pick dodger on silver, and we get off ball pest on go. Now, when it comes to the steal on this build, we're gonna end up having an 85 steal. They got SGA with like a 91 or 92 steal on 2K, but that's not gonna be possible with the builder. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not gonna be possible. So we want to end up having 85 and 85. And then for the defense, I could stop at a 60 block. A 60 block, I could stop there, but I might as well get high fly denier, go with a 68 block on this build. Then rebound, we're gonna give him a 60 offensive rebound. If you try to get him a higher rebound for defense, the highest I'm gonna be able to get is a 50 defensive rebound. So I'm gonna end up going 65 offensive, 50 defensive, and then we got 82 speed on this build. And for this type of play style, it's definitely enough to end up getting you to your spots. If you can learn how to get to your spots when it comes to mid-range, or even getting open for a three-pointer, even getting to the hole and being able to finish layups and dunks and still be able to play defense on a build like this, just know you're gonna end up heading in the right direction. But for this build, you're gonna shades of SGA, Drew Holiday, and Ron Harper. So now you know you're on the right side. You know you got SGA, you got two-way, three-level shot creator, basically a two-way slashing shot creator build that can do it all. But for this next SGA build, you're gonna see there's gonna be a little bit more offensive, but it still has that defensive ability. Now, the last one had an 85 perimeter, 85 steal. I'm gonna be honest to you, this one won't have that. It'll be one of the others between you get 85 this or you get 85 that. But now when it comes to the layup on this build, we're gonna go with a 90 layup. And the reason why we're stopping at a 90 layup, so we can be able to get physical finisher on go. Now, like I told you, if you have layup mixer on silver, you can max +1 that, and that's a tier 2 badge to get that to go if you want to save attributes and not use your cap breakers. But if you want to use your cap breakers, you can end up putting +3 right there if you want to. Now with this build, you go 55 driving dunk all the way to 65, but I'm gonna end up showing you a 60 driving dunk first, and I'm gonna end up showing you the 65 driving dunk as the difference. Nothing too different when it comes to this build. Then you know you gotta have a standing dunk, you gotta have your 40, 45 standing dunk for a build like this. Those standing dunks do come in handy, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I don't do standing dunks like that, you might as well have them. For the post control, you're gonna end up having a 70 post control, so you'll be able to get post fade phenom on silver. And then you're gonna up this, we're gonna have a 75 scrim. Now the 75 scrims gives a physical finisher on go. In a vertical, we're gonna go 60, and then for agility, we go 80 agility like we did last time. But the badge right here, physical finisher on goal, is what you're looking for, especially if you're gonna go with high volumes of layup, especially making all that contact. Now for the actual mid-range, it's gonna be the same. You're gonna have a 90 mid-range or 89. If you don't got cap breakers, just go 89. But if you got cap breakers, go 90. If you use that +1, or you can use +3 to get a 93 mid-range to get set shot splashes on Hall of Fame, Deadeye on gold, and Shifty Shooter on gold with that post fade phenom on silver. And then for the three-pointer, we could go 78 three-pointer on this build, 77 or 78, it doesn't matter. It's not going to make a big difference. It's up to you, just based on your preference. I'm gonna end up throwing a 78 three-pointer on this build, and you gotta up the free throw. The free throw, we can put the free throw to 85, 84, 85 for right now. I'm gonna end up tweaking it a little. For the pass accuracy, 82, dimer on gold, mandatory. If you want to go 78 and just stick with the silver dimer, silver break starter, and visionary, you can. But 90 ball handle, 90 ball handle gets you decent amount of dribble moves. And then when it comes with the speed with ball, the speed with ball needs to be at least 80 plus. 80 plus to me. 75 feels too slow for a build like this, especially seeing at 6'5". I can understand if you was like a 6'8" with a 75 speed with ball. But for a 6'6", definitely anything over 80, so you can get all those good takeover badges that you can end up using. Now for the defense is a little bit similar. I told you it's going to be slightly similar, but this is the choices. You can go with a 85 steal and get a 74 perimeter, 75 perimeter, or you could flip it. You can go 73 steal with an 85 perimeter, just based on the choice. As y'all know how steals are in NBA 2K25 now, they kind of nerf when it comes to lanes and things like that. You can end up doing it like this. But hey, if you really don't, you know what I'm saying, you know how the contest system work in this game, hey, you could go 75 perimeter and you go with the 85 steal if you feel like you can go that way. But for everything else, it's going to be very similar. You're going to 68 block, high flyer denier, and then when it comes to the rebound, it's going to be very similar to the other one, but you're going to go with a 60 defensive rebound. That's going to be the only thing that's going to be upgraded on this build. 60 defensive rebound with a little bit of offensive rebound, nothing too crazy. But look, if you want that 65 driving dunk, the 65 driving dunk on this build is going to end up being very similar to what you're looking at. Now, with going with a 65 driving dunk on this build, you're not going to end up having a 90 free throw. If you want your 90 free throw, keep it. But if going with 65 driving dunk, you only got to sacrifice 5 on your free throw to end up getting 65 driving dunk, 85 free throw, and you get a few attributes when it comes to offensive rebound. Versus having a 31 rebound, now you got a 39. Now, if that's the trade-off you want to do, that's up to you. But for the build name that you want to end up getting in the shades, you will end up getting SGA, Jalen Suggs, and DeJounte Murray. Now, that's not bad. That sounds like a good combination. You get called a shot creating 3-level threat without the two-way. Now, without you having that decent perimeter, like an 82 perimeter, you're not going to get the word two-way. But for an SGA build to be able to knock down shots, break down defenders, get to the hole and things like that, this is a good replica, a good way to even set this up, especially for a 6'6" that can play around the rim and also a decent amount of defense on ball handlers and scores. But in the comments down below, let me know, do you like the SGA build with the better defense, or you like the SGA build with the better offense when it comes to driving, layup, and physical finisher on goal? But if y'all boys haven't yet, make sure y'all boys drop a like, make sure y'all boys subscribe, and just know we're gonna be bringing out this build to the rec very soon.